The story I have with me right now was sent in by one of our listeners, and I'm going to read it exactly as he wrote it. He starts off by saying, "Neon, I've been tuning into your story since 2012." And then he dives right into the details.
The year was probably 2005. I was just a kid, maybe in the third grade. It was the dead of winter, likely January, so we're talking about 15 years ago. Back then, in my village, we didn't really have modern irrigation or pumps. The farmers relied on nature. You know how crops need water during that season? Well, we followed a specific rule for watering the fields, something we locals called the Gan. It's all based on the lunar cycle, the new moon and the full moon.
This story centers around a man from my village named Najar Ali. He was a farmer, probably between 50 and 55 years old. During the dry season, the canals would dry up by day, but during the Gan, the high tide would bring water in at night. The farmers would dig small trenches to divert that water into their fields.
One early morning, about an hour before the Fajr call to prayer, Najar Ali headed out to water his crops. His field was a fair distance from his house, requiring him to cross a canal, a walk that took about 10 to 15 minutes. Picture a village dirt road, wrapped in thick winter fog. He was carrying a hurricane lamp to light his way. This was his routine: go to the field at night, water the crops, say his prayers right there by the field, block the water flow, and then head back home in the morning.
But this night was different. He was standing on the raised ridge of earth bordering the field, trying to fix the flame on his lantern. It kept flickering out. He'd light it, and it would immediately die, even though there was no wind. At first, he thought the oil had run dry, but after it happened 4 or 5 times, he realized something was wrong.
Suddenly, a deep, heavy voice boomed from behind him.
"Najar, what are you doing?"
Without looking up, still focused on the lamp, he replied, "Can't you see what I'm doing?" The same voice, the exact same question, floated into his ears again. Annoyed now, he spun around.
There was no one there.
The lantern went completely black. A sudden shiver ran through his body. Pure, instinctual fear. Terrified, he scrambled over the ridges and ran all the way home. He told his wife everything, but she brushed it off. "Someone was probably just pranking you," she said. "Maybe a neighbor from the next field."
The next day, he went back to the field as usual. But that day, he never came home.
Morning turned to noon, and still no sign of him. Nearby, there was a nursery owned by a man named Elias. Elias had climbed a tree to water his plants, when suddenly he let out a blood-curdling scream and fell from the tree, unconscious. Hearing the scream, villagers from across the canal came running. They called out to Elias, but he wouldn't answer. Eventually, after the death, a man named Rustam was walking home after closing his tea stall. It was around midnight. As he passed the garden,
His eyes were drawn to the grave. He saw something he wasn't ready for.
In the beam of his flashlight, he saw a white cow standing right next to the grave, grazing. But as he kept the light on it, the creature just vanished into thin air.
Rustam was terrified. He barely made it home before passing out. After that, he refused to stay out past sundown. But the terror followed him. One night, he got up to use the outhouse. As he shone his torch toward the edge of his courtyard, he saw it again. They found him unconscious there later. When he came to, he told the villagers, "Someone in white clothes, a figure 10 feet tall, it called me." He said he tried to scream but couldn't. The figure approached him and he saw its face, horrific, grotesque, before he blacked out.
It started happening to everyone. Anyone who walked down that road by the grave experienced something. My own uncle was traumatized. He used to come home late, and on that stretch of road, a 5-minute walk would turn into a 2-hour loop. He couldn't find his way out. The mystery around that grave just kept growing. Rustam, the tea seller, never recovered from his fever. He died shortly after. One day, during my exams, I was crossing the bamboo bridge near that grave. My friend was walking behind me. Suddenly, he fell into the canal. When we got to him, his head was stuck in the mud, just like Najar Ali. Eventually, we had to bring in a huzur, a religious scholar, to perform a ritual and seal the grave. Only after a Milad prayer gathering did the haunting finally stop. This is a true story centering around that grave. If you don't believe it, you can verify it. The details are all there. The sender is Ferdos Hassan, Manik from Burikali village in the Najarpur Upajala of Pirojpur district. If you find the truth in this, let me know. I'm waiting to hear back.